So getting right into things here, this is the LEGO Icons Legend of Zelda Great Deku Tree. There's been a lot of discussion about this online. The beautiful thing here is that Zelda and gaming targets more than just the LEGO community, so we've had all sorts of responses to this, both positive and negative. As always, I'm going to be taking a look at the set here first in its detail, and then I'll move on to my thoughts and the controversy that surrounds the set in the second half of the video. Timestamps have been included if you want to jump around. Yeah, here it is. People have been asking for this license for more than a decade now, and we've been told countless times that it's just not going to happen under the LEGO Ideas brand because LEGO would require some brand new molds, the licensing fees from Nintendo are really difficult, yada yada. I think many people will be really pleased that this finally exists, and that's going to make a lot of LEGO fans very happy. It's also going to make LEGO themselves very happy that you're happy about this, because it means that you're going to buy this thing. Like, I've seen people already celebrate their pre-orders. Set 77092 Great Deku Tree releases on September 1st for 300 USD or 500 NZD, 2,500 pieces and 4 minifigures in total. The set here represents both the Ocarina of Time and Breath of the Wild games, with pieces to change up the build to best represent your preferred game. Before really delving into this, I should preface for anyone that's new here, I love gaming a lot, but I'm not a Nintendo person. I respect Zelda for the legacy that the series holds in gaming, and I love the iconicity of Link as a gaming mascot, but I don't have any attachment to the theme otherwise. Now this actually works pretty well here in my case for this kind of a video, because my normie opinion can take a look at this more objectively in a way. The level of detail here is very impressive. At first glance, it's a big tree, and I notice some really special elements here at play for the decorations, but on a closer viewing, there's actually a lot of printed references here to the franchise as a whole, scattered all throughout the build. Deku Sprout's inclusion here features printed parts to make up that face. That fairy thingy that everyone really hates, Navi, is included, and again, a printed piece. And while the Koroks here don't seem to be a new minifig-like part, I thought they might have reused that thing from Dreams. Dreams introduced these really nice little critter things. I figured that they'd use those here. At least they seem to include some printed details for their expressions. There's loads of signage and other in-world items here, and they're all printed, which just goes the extra mile of feeling like LEGO have really taken this thing seriously. Now as for the minifigures, this is the most important part for someone like me who just wants a Link minifigure for my LEGO gaming collection. Link here looks amazing, specifically the Ocarina of Time variants, though it is a little disappointing to have 3 of the same character here in one set. Breath of the Wild variants, they look nice, but they're not as interesting to me as the traditional look, probably because I've grown up looking at that one more so than the other one. Another part to praise here are the accessories included. Not only does Link feature a great new hat hairpiece, but he also includes the Master Sword and Highland Shield as fancy new pieces. They look perfect, genuinely, exactly what I would have wanted to see here. The set also includes Link's home, which can apparently be made to stand alongside either Deku Tree. Part of me wishes that this was the set alone actually. The big selling factor here is the option to change the appearance of the tree. Like LEGO have done in the past, you can swap some parts around and add additional pieces included to change up the appearance here. You cannot have both designs simultaneously though, which at first I thought you could because that would have made sense for its price. I like the traditional one a lot more personally. Colors on the Breath of the Wild one do look really great though in changing of those leaves. It is an impressive set, and those who can afford this and love Zelda I think will be very pleased with this. But now we get into the opinions of the community. There's been a lot of discussion lately towards LEGO being out of touch with their consumers. Like I mentioned, Zelda and gaming reach a more broad community outside of the usual LEGO consumers, and this is the exact audience that LEGO have been targeting these past few years with the Ideas and Icons line. 18 plus adult based sets that try to get people who aren't currently into LEGO obsessed with LEGO. It's how you have sets like Central Perks sell out. 500 NZD currently for the only Legend of Zelda set is a pretty insane ask in my opinion. I get tired of seeing LEGO taking properties that are intended for children and families and producing expensive alienating sets exclusively for adults. I know Legend of Zelda fans in my life personally who are also LEGO fans that won't be able to get this. The younger fans that I know personally simply can't afford something like this. It's unrealistic to expect that they could save up for this. The older fans I know personally can't justify buying something like this because of the current climate that we live in. First world problems, of course, there are plenty of other issues in the world that are far more important than LEGO. That goes without saying. The price is just really hard to justify here. We shouldn't necessarily compare every $500 NZD LEGO set to one another because there are a lot of factors that go into deciding on the prices of these things, but I just can't help it personally. Home Alone is the same price, and yeah, the Home Alone license is less than what Nintendo were charging for Zelda, but it also has 1,400 more pieces, and it makes for a more complete build. Personally speaking, Snow White's cottage or the medieval town square still fall into that medieval fantasy realm with me for LEGO sets, and both cost less than this one. Snow White's set does feature less pieces, admittedly, but it does have more minifigures, and Town Square features more pieces and more minifigures. I'm currently eyeing up the Dungeons & Dragons set, which looks looks immaculate in my eyes, and I think that justifies its price a little bit more than the Zelda set, and I have about the same connection to Dungeons & Dragons as I do with Zelda. I've seen some really interesting discussions online from defenders of the set. Mostly they seem to come from the side of excitement that the set actually exists in the first place. I can understand that. It's exciting for those who love Zelda, but this isn't one of the most popular franchises of all time because adults love it. It appeals to the masses. I guess I'm just disappointed to see that we didn't see something smaller and more affordable right up front, but it's likely that we will get more Zelda sets in the future. I've started buying into this theory recently that LEGO are using these $500 sets to test the waters before they decide to commit to a wave of sets. It sounds crazy, but it seems to be the most justifiable reason behind this. This is, I believe, the most expensive launch set for a video game license thing that we've ever had. We had Overwatch and Mario sets reach the hundreds, Minecraft as well, but we also had smaller options there. This is the thing that I think people seem to forget when we complain about the price. It's not necessarily the price that we have issues with, it's just the lack of options that we have made available to us. I'd be all on board for this $500 set if it means more affordable options come in the future. Now, for the future, I would like to see something as simple as maybe even a Guardian Stalker. Include Link with a horse or something, and price that at maybe 40 USD to 70 NZD. I'm also imagining that they're definitely going to make an 18 plus Majora's Mask like the Mario sets have with those special adult-like builds. Nintendo seemed to be really successful with those. I think the obvious inclusion here is also a Hyrule Castle, and everyone wants something a little different there. A modular build, maybe a playset-like build, a diorama display that would probably work as well, a microscale build like the Hogwarts castles. These all would probably be less than 500 NZD as well, and ideally would include some of these Legend of Zelda minifigures. I feel pretty satisfied with this right now, currently in life, especially and only as someone who isn't attached to this license, because skipping this is actually going to be very easy for me. But I do feel bad for all of you currently watching who really want a Link and Zelda in your LEGO collections, but you might need to skip this because of its price. Like I said in my Barradur video, there's just so many amazing sets that are releasing these days. I would personally rather spend the $750 on the LEGO Lord of the Rings set over spending $500 for the Zelda set, because I'm more attached and connected to Lord of the Rings. There'll be people that skip the Barradur set because they prefer Zelda. It just kind of is what it is in the current world that we live in with LEGO. Whatever your thoughts are though, let me know down below, and liking this video and subscribing to the channel here does help to support us in making more videos like this one. Ka kite anō, I hope to see you all next time.